Hello students, welcome to Microeconomics Academy. Today we will study consumer equilibrium, chapter number 2, Microeconomics, class 11. So what is a consumer equilibrium? We all are consumers, right? We all take decisions every day as to what to buy according to the price, according to the budget that we have. So we divide this word first, consumer and equilibrium. So consumer is the one who buys goods and services for the satisfaction of wants, right? So a consumer can be an institution, can be an individual, right? Or anyone, for that matter even government. So consumer equilibrium. So what is equilibrium? Equilibrium refers to the stage at which there is a maximum satisfaction and you don't want to change that particular state. Okay, you just want to be in that state. So that is equilibrium. So what is consumer equilibrium? Now consumer equilibrium is a situation, right, at which the consumer is getting maximum satisfaction with the limited income and he does not want to change the current level of expenditure. So with whatever expenditure he is making and he is buying goods and services, he is getting enough satisfaction, not enough, actually maximum satisfaction, and he does not want to change the current state, right? So there are two approaches to consumer equilibrium. One is cardinal utility and one is ordinal utility analysis. Now cardinal utility has different names. It was given by Marshall. So Marshallian utility or marginal utility analysis also. Ordinal utility is also known by indifference curve approach or Hicksian analysis, right? So these are the two approaches through which we are going to see the consumer equilibrium. So first is cardinal utility approach. Okay, so before we start anything further, we should also know what utility is. Okay, so utility in economics is one satisfying power of a commodity. So we consume different things, we consume goods and services. Why do we consume it? We consume it to satisfy our wants, right? So utility is that satisfying power of a commodity, right? Now utility is further divided into total utility, average utility and marginal utility. Okay? So what is total utility? The name itself suggests total utility is the total satisfaction derived from the consumption of all the possible commodities. How much ever commodities you have consumed, yes, addition of all those utilities gives you total utility. And what is average utility? Average is per unit of utility derived. Okay, it's per unit. So it's an average of the utility derived per unit of a commodity. So marginal utility is additional utility with one more units of commodity consumed. As you consume one more unit, what is the addition of the utility that you have got? What is the additional utility that you have achieved? That is marginal utility. So now we are going to the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. As we already know what total utility is and what marginal utility is, right? So we are going to do the relationship between these two with the help of a schedule and a diagram, right? Now, it's a very simple analogy the law of diminishing marginal utility has, okay? So, for example, if you're in a desert, if you're walking in a desert and you're feeling thirsty, somebody offers you a glass of juice. Then the first glass of juice will give you maximum satisfaction. You're getting so much of satisfaction. You're thirsty in the desert and you're getting the juice. What better than that? And if you continuously if you are supplied again with the same quality and same quantity of juice the second time, then you will still get the utility, but your utility will reduce, right? As you are given third glass of juice, you will still be getting utility, but your utility will diminish a lot. And there comes a point when you will reach the saturation point. And then you cannot have further, and if you further have it, you might even vomit it out, right? So there will be negative marginal utility. Okay, so as we all know, the total utility is the satisfaction derived from all the possible commodities that you have consumed. Okay, so let's say a person consumes ice cream. The first ice cream when he or she consumes, the person gets 20 utils of total utility, 20 utils of utility, right? Then, as he consumes second ice cream, the utility will increase to 36. And further, third ice cream, the utility is still increasing, it goes on to 46. And fourth ice cream, the utility reaches 50 utils. Then, at the fifth, it reaches, it's 50 itself. Now it has reached the saturation point. Now, after reaching the saturation point also, if you further consume, then there will be negative. Okay, it will go on to negative. So, we know what marginal utility is. Marginal utility is the addition in the utility. Okay, marginal utility is the addition in the utility after consuming or by consuming one more unit of a commodity. As you consume one more commodity, how much of extra additional utility are you deriving? So that is shown by the marginal utility. So here, marginal utility will be 20. Okay. Now one more additional unit of ice cream consumed. What is the marginal utility derived? So it is 36 minus 20, that is 16. So 16 extra marginal utility has been derived after consuming one more ice cream. Now as that person consumes or the consumer consumes one more ice cream continuously, the total utility is increasing no doubt, but the marginal utility that you have derived by adding this one more commodity of ice cream has reduced. Okay, so let's say it's 10. Then, furthermore, if he or she consumes fourth ice cream, you will get very less marginal utility. Then after that, once it reaches the saturation point, 0 of marginal utility. And further, if he or she consumes, then it will get negative. Alright? Now we will understand this same phenomenon with the help of a diagram. So the upper diagram represents the total utility and the downward diagram represents the marginal utility. Right? Now the total utility is shown in y-axis and the quantity of ice cream consumed is shown in the x-axis. Here marginal utility is shown in the y-axis and ice cream consumed is shown in the x-axis. Alright? Now as we plot the graph, for one ice cream, 20 total utility. For two ice cream, 36. So on. We plot this graph, right? And same thing we will do for marginal utility as well. We plot the graph. First ice cream, 20. Second ice cream, 16. Likewise, 20. Second ice cream, 16. Third ice cream, 10. Likewise. Okay? And till negative. Okay, so now the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. With the understanding of this schedule and the graph, we can easily derive the relationship between DU and MU. It's very easy now. Let's see. When total utility is increasing at a decreasing rate, see it is increasing but at a decreasing rate. First 20, then 16, then 10. So it is no doubt increasing, but at a decreasing rate, right? So when total utility increases at a decreasing rate, at that point marginal utility is diminishing. So that will be the first point. Okay, so when total utility increases at an increasing rate, increases at a decreasing rate, the marginal utility diminishes. Okay, when the total utility reaches maximum, marginal utility will be 0. When total utility reaches maximum, marginal utility is 0. Okay, and as the total utility starts diminishing, marginal utility becomes negative. So with this understanding of the concept and the schedule and the diagram, we can easily derive, or we can easily write the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. It's very easy to understand. Okay, so this is what the relationship between total utility and marginal utility is, and in the next class we will do the consumer equilibrium under single commodity and two commodities cardinal utility approach. Thank you.